Aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines. You may have heard this phrase before. It was said in 1960. Enzo Ferrari, the most famous car builder in the world, is one of the most emblematic and fascinating figures in automotive history, who was both a genius creator but also, and above all, a man of strong character, known for his passion and for his vision, without any compromise. It's evident that his punchline has aged poorly, considering the significance of aerodynamics in recent years. Ferrari has a significant presence in the automotive industry, especially in the world of racing. This includes Formula 1 and all the production cars the brand sells today. However, aerodynamics is not the focus of this video. This sentence highlights the central role of the engine in Enzo Ferrari's philosophy and his pursuit of the ideal car. All his life, he sought to build the ideal engine. Not a reasonable engine, not an efficient engine, but a powerful engine, one that would allow him to win all the races. A life totally dedicated to his passion for mechanics, so much so that he never took time off, he refused to go on trips. He confessed that his happiest times were when he was alone in the workshop while others were away on holiday. For Enzo, race cars are beautiful when they win, not based on their appearance. To him, performance and technique are of utmost importance, taking precedence over all else. In his time at Ferrari, the majority of the innovation and efforts are made on the engines. The chassis merely supported and held the wheels, with car style being a secondary consideration. Only you know the story. In order to continue investing large sums in the development of these racing cars, Enzo must agree to sell certain models that will finance his passion. The Ferrari 166, introduced in 1948, was the first Ferrari to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and above all, it's the first Ferrari race car that will be sold to the public as a grand touring vehicle. With several body variants made by big names, some of which have survived to this day. Well now, I need to make a quick aside to clarify and explain. A piece of history that's hard to imagine today. From the birth of the automobile until World War II, car manufacturing was a different business. That mainly meant that you were primarily producing chassis and engines without really worrying about the style. Wrapping all that in bodywork? At the time, it was considered a separate art form, and the design of cars was decided by independent coach builders who played a crucial role in the industry, by customizing vehicles to meet customer desires and the technical capabilities of the chassis. A bit like fashion designers who dress a model according to her body shape. Some of these automotive designers have dressed chassis as if they were creating true works of art, and their names might ring a bell, like Alemano, Vignal, Saucik Touring, Figonier-Falaschi, Chaperon, Labordette, Gillia, Burton Abarth, and the list could actually be quite long. Today it doesn't exist at all. And even those who are called tuners and are supposed to produce unique cars like Mansory, Brabus or Liberty Walk are far from making models as exclusive as their predecessors. It's simple. Back then, all these high-end cars were really unique. They were not two alike. And this is where we come back to our dear Enzo Ferrari, who started in 1948 to market his Ferrari 166 with 6 body variants. Among the 6 variants, one catches his eye, the man we'll discuss in this video. Giovanni Battista Farina, known as Pininfarina, designed some of the most beautiful icons in automotive history. Giovanni Farina was born in 1893 near Turin, Italy, in the small town of Cortanz. The prefix Pinin means small in Piedmontese. He was nicknamed for being the youngest of 11 siblings, a name he will eventually add to his surname. At just 12, he begins working in his brother Giovanni's workshop, discovering his passion for cars, which leads him to create the Carrozzeria. Pininfarina was founded in Turin in 1930 with the ambitious goal of revolutionizing car body manufacturing. Gian Battista is small in stature but highly talented. Battista Pininfarina's innovative and elegant style quickly stands out, attracting prestigious brands like Lancia, Alfa Romeo, and Hispano Suiza. Pininfarina's idea was to go beyond the simple artisanal model of custom creation to create an independent industry of automotive bodywork, and to be able to produce cars exactly as he imagines them in small series, while maintaining exceptional quality. One of the most striking moments of his career and the starting point of the story we're going to explore today. His collaboration with the legendary Enzo Ferrari began in the early 1950s. After releasing the renowned 166, Enzo collaborated with Pininfarina to define the design language of his automobiles. But the two creators almost never met because of their oversized ego. Ferrari never leaves Maranello, it's one of his life rules, so he wants Pininfarina to come to see him. But the designer refuses on the principle of equality. In short, if I'm not important enough for you to leave Maranello, you're not important enough for me to come to you. Even before collaborating, the two bosses are negotiating thanks to Sergio's son and his friend, a Maserati driver. Battista Pininfarina finally found a compromise with Enzo Ferrari, arranging a meeting on neutral ground. In a restaurant in Tortona, between Turin and Modena, Enzo comes with his faithful right-hand man Girolamo Gardini, and Battista comes with his son Sergio. Four car enthusiasts around a table can keep a conversation going all night long. During the famous Tortona meeting, the two entrepreneurs established the groundwork for their decades-long collaboration, during which the Pininfarina company became Ferrari's preferred partner in terms of style. The very first model of their collaboration is the Ferrari 212 Inter, which arrives in 1952, and which is the first car to sport both the prancing horse emblem and the Pininfarina signature. When I was young, I didn't know why the Pininfarina logo was an F. Now I realize it's because the founder's original surname was simply Farina. The 212, it's over 70 years old today. The car, while primitive, already showcases the distinctive features that would define future collaborations between Ferrari and Pininfarina. A pure, sensual body with distinctive elements like the square patterned grille and smooth, rounded sides without superfluous ornamentation. From that moment on, history is in motion. Ferrari creates incredibly high-performing cars, and Pininfarina makes them irresistible. Under the leadership of Battista and his son Sergio, the company created some of the brand's most iconic models. To the prancing horse, such as the 250 Gran Turismo, the 275 Gran Turismo B, or the Odd Modulo. We'll discuss it later, as we can't limit Pininfarina's work to Ferrari, even though everything is going exceptionally well with them. The talented bodybuilder expands his client base and network in Italy annually, conducting masterclasses. Like the Alfa Romeo Spider Duetto, Lancia Flaminia, Flavia Coupe, Dino 246 or Fiat 124 Spider. Starting in the 1960s, he began cooperating with foreign car manufacturers and transformed his rather artisanal structure into a true industrial company. A significant event during this transition was Pininfarina's production of 27,000 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Speeders, which they designed and manufactured in-house. Due to immense growth, Battista opens a new factory in Grugliasco with advanced tools for improving car technology and aerodynamics. The CCD, a center for calculations and design, was created first, followed by the construction of a full-scale wind tunnel, the first of its kind in Italy and one of the few worldwide at the time. Using new technologies, Pininfarina designed the Lancia Monte Carlo, Ferrari 365 Daytona, 308 Gran Turismo Berlinetta and 400 among others. I can't list all the models individually, it would be too lengthy. He uses his wind tunnel for projects beyond cars, such as the Nardi Futura, the first caravan with a sloping front to improve drag coefficient. Meanwhile, he formed ties with global automakers such as Honda, Jaguar and General Motors, including the Dodge Polara and Cadillac Eldorado. And in 1986, Pininfarina, a long-standing automotive company, goes public following its work on the iconic Ferrari Testarossa. At that point, everything is going very well for the Italian coach builder. For a few years now, the workshop has been run by Sergio, the son of Battista, who has handed over the reins and contracts continue to come in. Sergio Pininfarina is just as talented as his father, and he is involved in the birth of the Bentley Arnage. Several Ferraris, including the F40, as well as the Maserati Gran Turismo, and many iconic Peugeot models. And Peugeot, is it Pininfarina's other great love, along with Ferrari? Okay, you're going to tell me that we're not at all on the same philosophy. However, their partnership will last for years and will especially produce models that you all know. The 403, introduced in 1955, succeeded the 203. And you can see that its style brought a radical change to Peugeot. It quickly gained popularity due to its friendly and modern design, selling over 1.2 million copies. A commercial success that best exemplified the public's enthusiasm for Pininfarina's design, and which made Peugeot want to renew its trust in our Italian bodybuilder. The two companies have returned with various models, including the iconic 504, offered in sedan, station wagon, and especially coupe and convertible styles. Two versions still praised for their refined aesthetic and timeless look. The 504 design was a gift for both parties. The car set new style standards for Peugeot and solidified Pininfarina's reputation as an automotive design master. The story continues into the 1990s with the famous Peugeot 400C Coupe, a model renowned for its elegant design, considered the most Italian of French coupes. In 2003, the 100,000th copy of the 406 Coupe was produced at the Pininfarina factory. Another stunning example of Pininfarina's successful design style. The love story between Pininfarina and Peugeot lasted nearly 50 years, ending in the 2000s. At the moment when the Socio brand decided not to call on any external company to work on the design of its cars and to fully trust its design department. In the end, an obvious choice. With increasing global competition, Peugeot spent too much on internal designers and competing with an external agency, which also required payment. So they decided to cut to the chase, reduce costs as much as possible, and therefore part ways with our dear Pininfarina, despite their consistently excellent work, except on the Milacept, which is peculiar. Meanwhile, Andrea Pininfarina, son of Sergio and grandson of founder Gian Battista, had taken over the company. Joining the company after its initial public offering in the late 80s when his father retired, he witnessed the loss of a major client. Just years after starting, he severely impacted the company his grandfather founded. And regrettably, her misfortunes will persist. On the morning of August 7th, 2008, Andrea rides a scooter near his offices in the Turin suburbs, when a motorist refuses him the right of way and hits his Vespa head-on, killing him instantly. His brother Paolo will succeed him as the head of the company. During a global economic crisis, particularly when Pininfarina's historical market is undergoing changes, most car makers have long recognized the significance of design. Like Peugeot, they have chosen to trust their in-house studio rather than outsourcing to external companies. During this time, two other iconic Italian car makers also faced difficulties. Bertone went bankrupt, while Giugiaro Ital Design was acquired by Volkswagen, in an attempt to minimize customer loss and keep the business running. Pininfarina is increasingly opening up to new players in the automotive industry, like Bolloré, accepting projects like yachts, buildings, tractors, or vacuum cleaners. However, despite all efforts, Pininfarina continues to struggle, nearing bankruptcy. Ultimately, the heirs decide to sell the company. After a lengthy year of negotiations, the Indian group Mahindra becomes the owner of Pininfarina. The issue is that Mahindra, a greedy giant, understands that changes must be made for Pininfarina to regain profitability. He decides to turn the Coachbuilder into a full-fledged car manufacturer. Ferrari, Lamborghini's largest and most loyal customer, realizes their interests are too divergent to continue working together. Ferrari disapproves of the changes and new models created by Pininfarina since its acquisition by an Indian company. The brand with the prancing horse therefore also decides to trust its internal design office and to part ways with its partner, by ending a unique collaboration in the history of the automobile, which lasted more than half a century and produced some of the most beautiful sports cars in history. I'm thinking in particular of the Dino, the 288 Gran Turismo Omologato, the mythical Ferrari Enzo, or the F12. At that moment, Ferrari lost its soul. If I say Ferrari lost its soul, it's because the separation from the styling office is directly visible on the cars. The La Ferrari is the first Ferrari not influenced by Pininfarina in any way. It's quite remarkable. And then we have a whole series of models that followed one after the other: the GT-C4 Lusso, which follows the Ferrari FF, the 812 Superfast, which succeeded the wonderful F12, or the 488, which succeeded the 458 Italia. Clearly these cars are all very beautiful. With each new version, we find slightly less roundness and finesse, as if Ferrari has left a part of its soul behind. Even on the successor to the 812, the new 12 Cilindri. Our design echoes the Daytona by Pininfarina. Compared to other modern Ferraris, this car has a more linear and stricter side, particularly expressed by the two parallel lines on the side. This 12 Cilindri was designed by Marc Poulain, his final Ferrari project before moving to Alpine. Ferrari is gradually changing its style due to the efforts of Flavio Manzoni's design team, a design monster who has designed the Maserati 3200, the new Fiat 500, the Volkswagen Up, and the Golf 7 among others. The more technical style, especially in optics, is evident in models like the Purosangue, Roma, SP1, SP2, Daytona SP3, and SF90. This demonstrates that Ferrari's design has evolved beyond the Pininfarina era and into a new direction. What do you think? Do you prefer Pininfarina Ferraris or the latest models? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss. Pininfarina presented the Battista designed with the new electric Prodigy Rimac, which I discussed in another video. An electric supercar resembling the SF90. Last year, the B95 was presented at the Pebble Beach Elegance Contest based on the Battista. But the production for these models is really anecdotal. We're talking about barely 150 copies. Will the brand continue to offer cars under its own logo? For now, not really any info. Time will reveal if the Italian coach builder can survive. He has impacted automotive design history by participating in the design of over 1,000 cars and producing at least 250. It is estimated that in the mid-2000s there were over 30 million cars worldwide, which had been created with the help of Pininfarina or carried his legendary signature. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're here, it's because you love Ferrari and Pininfarina just like me. So, to pay tribute to Pininfarina, I've drawn one of his most beautiful creations, the Ferrari 250 Gran Turismo Omologato, widely regarded as the most beautiful car ever made. You can find it now on my website appeldefar.com. There will only be 100 copies as usual. It's a limited edition, so it's first come, first served. Order now and have it delivered by Father's Day just in time for the video release. It's the ideal gift for Ferrari fans and the best way to support the channel. Join us on appeldefar.com via the quick response code shown or the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, I highly recommend continuing with the playlist displayed now for more analysis of automotive design. Thank you all for your support and see you next time.